3-yard run, Sean mentioned a bad run fit or fits. Is that a mental mistake or is it a physical mistake usually when that happens?
Yeah, at that particular point, it was more physical. It was just more physical. A couple of things that we could have done a little bit better in terms of just our fundamentals and technique at the point of attack, and then how we address the cutback run. Just all things that we can improve. The margin of error is small in this league, and you have to be very good, or things like that could happen. But that's really out of character for our defense. I mean, you don't get to be where we've been in the last couple of years, giving up explosive runs, and our guys take a lot of pride in stopping the run.
How long does have to be run defense-wise against Jacobs? How long does have to be against Josh Jacobs?
Well, we have to be ourselves regardless of who the opponent is. This is a determined rushing attack that we're going to see, so we have to make sure that our fundamentals, how we address specific runs relative to the calls, are at a high-end level. So it's really about us and what we have to do to make sure that we give ourselves a chance every snap.
Out of character, what did you make of just the run defense for Monday night?
Well, outside of the two explosive runs, I thought the guys played physical. They played hard. We got downhill. We addressed the point of attack. It's just on those two particular plays when you're not exactly where you need to be, those things can happen. But overall, they were physical. We set the edge. Greg Rousseau set the edge and forced a fumble down in the red zone that put them in a tough third down situation. So for the most part, it was solid, but we just want to make sure we don't give up big chunk runs.
What did you see from Greg in general on Monday night?
Yeah, just from the very beginning, he was ready to go. Got a hit on the quarterback early in the ball game, forced him out of the pocket to have to really throw the ball away and to turn that into a negative play, even though we didn't sack him in that situation. And just a lot of energy. He has some really good rushes. He didn't really finish the quarterback. He didn't get him on the ground, but he was disruptive in what he was doing.
Had to look for Leonard Floyd in a full game with the Stevens. How did you think? What stood out to you about him?
Just the speed and the energy off the edge. I thought he did a nice job of not only winning his one-on-one, but creating population away from his alignment when the quarterback started to deviate away from him. So that was really good to see. He executed in other aspects of his game, but just the energy that he gave us as an edge rusher.
Leonard, how rare is that? Like, you've been in this league a long time. A guy gets to a place and then 3 months later makes his debut and has that kind of impact. Did you guys expect that, or is that something that it's pretty impressive what he was able to do in such a short amount of time?
Well, he's a pro. He's like you mentioned, he's been around the block a few times. Leonard knows how to play this game. A lot of experience, a lot of things that he can refer to. The biggest thing that we had to do with Leonard was just get him up to speed as far as our defensive system, communication, alignments, just some of those things. But at the end of the day, when the situation declares itself and it's one-on-one, he knows how to win.
How do you feel like Terrel Bernard handled the situation, both in terms of communication and those things, and his actual physical play?
He did a good job. I told T. Bernard yesterday that I thought his debut went well. Obviously, he wants to continue to build on that and to grow. He was physical. He was decisive with the communication to the guys. And there are always things. I mean, that's a big stage, a big jump when you're in that position with that level of responsibility, as a second-year player. But overall, I thought he did a nice job.
What do you have to do with him this week, knowing he's going to be the one battling crowd noise here at home in terms of some of those communication things?
Well, we'll try and create some of that situation in practice like we always do. Fortunately, we have that noise and we try and challenge everybody from the beginning. There's noise and music and all types of things out there from the very first time we go outside, so that we are used to it and we're accustomed to it. And it's not just on him. I mean, I tell the defensive line all the time, communication given, communication received. We have a responsibility to anticipate what's going to be said to us and respond. So it's not just on Terrell, but he'll be ready to go.
Wrap in some situations. What do you like about his skill set to play the run and also the pass?
Just physical. He's a physical guy. He can match up against certain receivers. He's a good matchup for us. Close to the line of scrimmage, we know he's going to be physical. He's going to be a heat-seeking missile, if you will. Smart, and he's got really good ball skills when he has to rotate to the middle of the defense.
When a play happens, like Garrett's catch on Trey, I mean, you just chalk that up to that's an athlete making a play. It looked like Trey had good coverage there. I mean, I'm sure Trey would like it back, but how do you approach that as a coach when you talk to him?
Yeah, it's I'll take Trey 10 times out of 10 in that situation, and I think it's as simple as, yeah, a great football player, two guys battling, things worked out in his favor at that particular time, and we know that Trey will come back, he'll battle, and he'll win his share of those situations. But he couldn't have been in any better position, but the ball just happened to. I mean, there was just a really good bounce for the receiver.
With Christian Bedford playing so much, just what did you see out of his game? And obviously earning the start, but then just being in for all this.
I'm sorry, who were you?
Christian Bedford. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Christian, obviously, and I know Sean already touched on that, the effort play that he made to save a touchdown, but he did a good job. I mean, he was ready to go. He did a nice job with his squeeze, contain, pursuit defenses, and just the effort. I mean, that kind of effort is what we like to call the signature of our defense, and we like to see that through every single position group with the D-line, but he was ready to go. He did a nice job, and he'll continue to improve each week.